What's up, everybody? This is Love for the Streets, and you're watching The Ride Along.
Ride with us, slide with us, come vibe with us. Stay cruising with real hitters and dime pieces. Ain't nobody else comparing to the things we on. You got love for the streets, why don't you ride along? Ride with us, slide with us, come vibe with us. Stay cruising with real hitters and dime pieces. Ain't nobody else comparing to the things we on. You got love for the streets, why don't you ride along?
All right, everybody, so thanks for tuning in to Season 2 of The Ride Along. Today's episode, we're out here in the city of San Diego. We're featuring this beautiful car. You guys may already seen it out there. For those that haven't, I want the owner to introduce himself and the car.
How you doing, everybody? This is Huero from San Diego, Majestics chapter, representing my 1964 Impala called Final Judgment. Check it out.
So what do you say, Huero? We take a ride or no?
Let's take a ride.
Let's go, buddy. So let me know, Huero. Do I have to do the...
Before you go in,
Oh,
you gotta
right.
bless. Que todo salga bien,
Yeah,
no se va a caer
no,
un
we know
ring,
it.
no un pinche, vamos a
That's right.
arrumbar un pinche lado.
All right, so where do we begin with this car? With you, with, you know, like for me, it's like a dream come true, you know, of course. What
You know?
what have you not said about this car? What have you left unsaid with the relationship between Huero and Final Judgment?
Well, pretty much said it all. I'm saying, I think I built a standard for the lowrider community,
Yeah.
building this car like this, and talked about my mother, which I
Right.
put this car together because in honor of a tribute to my mom.
Yeah. All right.
So I think.
So it's more, to me, I feel like when I hear you, so for people that are listening, that are watching us, for me personally, I could sit here and I could tell you that this is a historical car. Like, it's something that belongs in a museum.
Yes.
But I feel like even just from the looks of it, the most important thing is the meaning behind the car, right?
Right.
Because like you said, it's a tribute car. I mean, people have tribute cars to
everything.
Michael Jackson, to, you know, Nipsey Hussle. But what really matters to Huero is his mother, obviously. And why not build a car in memory of her? Right?
Well, yeah. You know, I'm saying I built it because, you know, you got to remember that's your jefita.
Yeah.
And I think at a young age, at a very young age, we don't appreciate our parents, our mothers, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, we don't think like an adult. We do what the fuck we want to do.
Yep.
Which I grew up that way. I did whatever I did when I was young. I never listened to my mom, and you know, and to that point, it was very hard to lose my mom at a young age, at age 19, you know, 18, 19 years old, which, you know, my mom committed suicide.
Oh, wow.
We knew that she was sick. She had depressions. She'd always cry for us to do good and listen to her. She always wanted to hang out with us and be with us and be out off the streets, and we never listened to her.
Right,
And she took her life. And when and when she took her life, that's where
reality hit.
Yeah, that's where it hit me, man.
You think that at that moment, that's where everything kind of changed for you? Do you pinpoint that?
Big word. Yeah, I would say 90% of that. Yeah. The other thing was my daughter, because I had a little girl. I didn't want to show her a wrong path, and I want her, you know, I'm saying, how can a parent do drugs, or how can a parent steal things when you have a nice, you know, beautiful newborn?
Yeah.
And you know, how you gonna put a face to that? You know,
Absolutely.
you have to make these changes.
You gotta give a good impression, huh?
Yeah.
So, just to kind of recap, the car is one of the most beautiful cars in history of lowriding, of building cars, period. I know you've shown this car in lots of places. What is it to you to own this car, to say you're the owner, you're the builder of this car? Obviously, you know, with the people that helped you, the painters, you know, because you know that controversy, it's all bought not built and all that. I mean, we all pay somebody to do something to our cars, you know?
Correct.
In your case, the main thing that people know is that pretty much everything on this car is your ideas.
Correct, yeah. A lot of it's, you know, my imagination, you know. My imagination, I always say, how am I going to dress it up? How am I going to let people know what this car's name, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Why Final Judgment? Why Final Judgment?
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying Final Judgment is because people can make those changes.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only one guy that changes everybody, you know what I'm saying? And makes, you know, judges people to what they do. And I think Final Judgment, because that's, you know, I could have been a street guy, you know, shooting people. I could have still continued on. I could have been in jail. I could have been dead. And, you know, changing that and calling it Final Judgment, you know, based off, my mom was very, you know, she was into church. My grandma was into church. And, you know, and Final Judgment was the word for it, you know?
So my understanding is this, see, not so much on the religious side, because I feel like regardless, we're all on our own path.
Correct.
And, you know, like, for instance, in your case, like you mentioned earlier about your mom, you know, people want to write that off, like, if that's it, like, that's your, like, you know, you took your own life, that's it. And in this case, that's not the case, because I feel like if God doesn't judge us over one action, you know, it's your whole life from beginning to end. And if your mother was a good mom, like you said, you know, and we all deal with different things and, you know, our own demons. And I feel like if, you know, you're not gonna, in your the day of judgment, the final judgment, you're not gonna, only one thing is gonna keep you out of heaven, or out of, you know what I mean, out of eternity, right? I love that we're on the freeway with this.
It gets on the freeway. I'm saying 65 miles per hour, you know. It does it all. It drives on the freeway. Some people say, oh, that car doesn't drive. It drives. It goes everywhere.
What do you have under the engine?
I got an LS1.
Oh.
Yeah. I got an LS1.
It's not a little baby engine. It's
it's an upgraded 350, but you know, the newer cars.
Nice.
You know, so it does have balls. You know, but you know,
it doesn't just look pretty.
You know, just, you know, if I push that gas, you can see. See, I can go all the way up, but I'm gonna end up burning those damn tires off. You know.
That's another thing. What are you running on this, on the wheels? And what do you usually drive in this car?
I got 13 by 7, baby. That's what I got.
And 520s.
520s, exactly.
Is that your tire of choice?
Yeah, 520s.
Yeah. You wouldn't go no Remington, no radio, no nothing. Nice. Is that just because of the look, or?
Because everything. I'm saying I never had problems. I'm saying I drive it. Yeah, the looks mostly for looks. I'm saying I haven't had problems driving it, blowing out tires.
So it's like this. How I see it is you enjoying the fruits of your labor, getting in behind the wheel, taking it. Even if you go to a 7-Eleven run, at least you're able to say my car drives, not just a trailer queen, right?
Yep.
That's the best part of it, I guess.
Every time.
It's not a piece of furniture that sits in your garage.
No, it's you know what I'm saying? People admire it.
Right.
People look at it like, oh damn, you drive that car, you know.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you know, I take it to shows, I drive it, you know. You know, I display fully displayed at shows, you know, with mirrors and
turntable and stuff.
yeah, I'm saying it all, and so the thing drives. Yeah, I have to come back and fix problems and chips.
Like
yeah, but you know, that's part of the game.
That's right.
That's part of the game, you know. You gotta drive your shit.
Yeah, you can't just say I put in all this time and money into a car.
You know, everybody's different because I'll be honest. At first, when I first built it, I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna drive it, you know. But you know what? You know, just the shows. It's not just about the shows, you know. It's about driving it too, because you know what? It gets somewhat. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it gets boring just to leave it displayed and just put it away, and you know. You want to start it. So I started saying, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna. Right. Sorry, my language, but I had you know. You know,
it's like this. It's the expression, you know, for people to understand that what it means for you to get behind the wheel and drive your car.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's fun, you know. The music. I love old school. You know, I love hip hop. I listen to everything in here. You know, it's always me and my wife driving. You know,
what got you into lowriding?
Well, like, to be honest, when I was a kid, you know, everybody's dream, right? When we used to see Easy E driving with the 63, you know, all out, you know, and oh man, then you see everybody pulling out convertibles and rags, you know, and it's just, you know, I was like always gonna want a car like that, but you know, I think I took it to a different level since my mom passed away. I said, you know what, I'm gonna make something out of it, you know. I'm gonna go all the way out and tribute. So
prior to this car, what other cars have you owned before this?
I had a Cutlass, I had a Regal, 81 Regal with suicide doors, Continental kit, rim down, days, lifted, and you know.
And you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. And
so when you got this car, what condition was it in?
Oh, this is the second time I do this car.
Oh, all right.
So the first time it was just silver base, chrome undercarriage, you know, white interior. I took it all off after that. You know, I let it sit there for a long time. I had this car about maybe 15 years.
Okay.
The first time I built my 64,
you could always count on something going on right here all the time, huh?
Yeah, exactly. It's Chicano Park. There's always something here.
So, Huero, do you think they probably tripped up like that was driving that shit. I mean, I know I would. So, Huero, do you think that this is your ultimate build? That this is the last one you got under your, like you said, this is it, like I already went to that mountaintop?
No, not really.
You got another build on your
I got something else. Yeah, I got something else I want to definitely do full out, and then I'm gonna build my wife's car too at the same time. So
can we ask what it is, or is it top secret?
I would wait to see it comes out.
There you go. I can't wait.
A lot of people are asking me, what else are you building? And I said, well, you'll see.
And you know, from our standpoint, it's like, man, what else can he do? I mean, is he gonna go with the regular route, which is cool, you know? I know, but I mean, can Huero really pull out a car that's, you know, regular? That's,
well, you know, I'm saying I wish I can pull out something regular where I can three-wheel and hop the shit out of it, but I think I will build one more car full custom before I get into doing something more street, you know, or
so then you could just jump in the car,
correct, go and three-wheel and hop and just not give a shit, you know.
That's right. But I can't wait to see that.
But, you know, everything on this is all engraved, you know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of precious. It's like diamonds, you know.
What are some of the reactions that you get from people?
Oh, everybody smiles. They break their heads, you know. They say like, wow, look at that beautiful car. You heard that, right? See?
Yeah, see? Does that make you feel good?
Well, yeah, because that's something that I built that
Like an accomplishment, right?
Yeah.
I think that it's to me, I feel like if, you know, because I know you personally, they have no idea like what's gone into this car.
Yeah.
Like,
you know
just
what?
even like sleepless nights.
Yeah,
and,
no,
you know,
yeah,
hard
definitely.
working, you know?
It took me good 7 years to build this car the way Final Judgment.
Yes, right now.
As is now. 7 years. When I'm saying 7 years, if I added all consistently, it pretty much it took me a little while, but look at, I've dealt with painters, I dealt with 3 engravers, just to get the help, you know, from people, from, you know, Speedy, and from Swing and everybody else, artisan. From Sal Monsanto, the painter. You got Lindsay's interior, which a lot of calibration, you know, from every.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of coordination,
and
because it's not just one person doing everything. It's, you know, a group of guys and they all gotta work together.
Correct.
So Huero, I have an important question.
Yes, sir.
What everybody wants to know: how much money? You don't have to answer. I'd rather you answer. How much money do you think you've invested into this car?
To be honest, I stopped counting.
Wow.
You know what? I can't say it. Oh well.
Well, you can say it and we'll bleep it out.
Well, I don't know. To be honest, I stopped counting. I'm saying just the paint job. You know, $20,000. You know.
Wow.
You know, and that's just with no murals. And you imagine all the murals.
And you gotta stack everything on.
Yeah. I'm saying murals. You probably have maybe $50,000 worth of murals, you know, and I'm still not done, you know. So there's a lot of engraving to the engine, to all the light effect, you know, all the LED light.
Which this car features a lot of innovative LED things that we've never seen in cars in lowriders before.
Correct.
You know, I noticed that you did a lot of like the interior has the lights, your engine. And that's something that, you know, when you see it on a show, like you're trip out, you're like, man, I've never seen this before, you know, like the emblems and stuff like that, you know. So what is your relationship with this car?
Well, it means a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Can you say that it's love, that you love this car?
Yeah. You gotta remember, I love my mom. This is like my mom here.
Right.
You know, this is something that I made an accomplishment, and pretty much, you know, put all my effort to my mom.
Right.
This is a tribute to my mom, so I'm sure that
you feel the.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You know, I'm saying, how am I gonna let something go or not worry about something that I built? You know, of course. Definitely.
So okay, that's the second question I have that is very important. Is this that? Would you ever sell this car, and for how much? No. I don't think I would sell it. No? No. There's no amount that you think is... No. I think, like, you know how I've heard people say this, that since you don't want to sell it and you wouldn't sell it, what you do is you put a ridiculous amount where you say, nobody's ever going to pay me that, so I know for sure that's...
You know what? I can't say maybe I wouldn't sell it, because, you know, as of now, I don't have how you say, a reason why to sell it, because I have everything I want.
Right.
I'm married, I got my house, got a good job, I got God in me, you know. I got good friends, I got good homies, you know. So at the end of the day, I have everything. So why would I want to sell something that
you have no need for it?
No need for it. But if I was down, yeah, anything can be sold, you know. Of course. But
from looking at it, this car's staying here in San Diego, unless Huero wins the lotto and he says I'm moving to Hawaii or something, you know. Otherwise, this car's staying here.
Yeah. I will probably keep this, put it away. Right. You know, mad respect for, you know, Gypsy Rose, you know.
Yeah.
You know, that's a museum.
That's
part.
One of the Yeah,
and you know, I'll put this one away and have something else, and really let this come out next you know, and let it be something.
Let it be something where people, you know, they don't see it for a few years and then they see it and it's, you know,
it's
I want it to be like this, Huero, that especially with this car, this type of car and this build is this. This is what I think, me, from a fan of your work, is this, that I want it to be something where if my kids go to the show with me and we talk about it, we stay there and we, you know, we look at the car, and if they see it 5 years from now, 10 years from now on their own, if I'm gone, they'll remember that. So this car would be the bridge, you know, for my kids to remember that, right? And that's how I see it. Like, it's the way I feel when I see cars like Gypsy Rose, when I see cars like you know, some of the guys from Elite, from the you know, and I see them and I say, damn, dude, like, that car's out here, you know, and it's there. Like, I remember this car, you know, from back in the days, you know, like the Vegas car, the Loco 64, you know, where I remember I grew up, you know, admiring those cars, you know, and those guys and stuff like that, right? Huero, what is your legacy for lowriding? What do you want to leave when you walk away from this?
Well, you know what? If day I retire or I'm gone, I'm saying I want a memory for everybody to see that and to let everybody build something even better, or, you know, leave that trend where these things can be done and happen if people put the effort to it. Because put it this way, my hard work and money came through this car, and I put a lot into it. And to let people to see it, so they could, maybe one day these guys can open their eyes, or young kids, and say, God, you know, this guy can do it.
So maybe it'll draw inspiration from this.
Yeah, correct.
Like, this is the car,
you know, and that's the reason why I built this car, because I want to put an example out there to people that are treating their parents wrong, you know. I wish my mom was living right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's very hard because I went through a lot.
Yeah. And it's like this, like, it's like those moments where you say, like, other people, they don't have this, you know, they might have, you know, something else, but at least you could sit here and say, man, like, I feel like this car, like, I feel my mom's presence, I feel her guidance, even though she's not here, but she's here in your heart, and, you know, and this is the, you know, this is what you have to show for it, right? Man, that's a beautiful story, you know, for people that are drawing inspiration, not only from a car, but even from a person, you know, from another, your loved ones, you know, like me, myself. I could sit here and I could tell you my uncles are my inspiration in life, because I go to work, they taught me what I know at work. I raised my kids, and I used to look at my uncles, you know, and I used to say, damn, you know, I want to, like, you know, one of my uncles, like, he was there every Friday picking up his kids, rain or shine, money or no money, he'd always pick up his kids. And I feel like that's me. Like, I'm not gonna let my kids, you know, and as a family man, you know, and I feel like there's so much inspiration in anything, but thankfully for us, that you turn that inspiration and you turn your, you know, your efforts into this, because now we get to enjoy it with you.
You know, it's you know, and I appreciate Love for the Streets for doing this, because that's what really it's about.
Of course.
You know, it's really about it's putting the word out there to look at what we build.
Yeah, exactly.
We can all make those changes and do better, and without, you know, Love for the Streets, you know what I'm saying, putting their effort to demonstrate the world, the community, what everybody's
the positivity
life,
exactly.
What the life, what in each individual's life is.
Absolutely.
And, you know, for these builders, you know, some people have it all. Some people are billionaires. Some people, you know, they might sell dope. Some people are hardworking family that everything they work for, they got in the car. Which, that's exactly what I did. I worked my ass off for what I have.
Absolutely.
And especially, you know, with a good woman, you know, you gotta
shout out to the wives that support their husbands.
Of course.
Without you, a lot of these cars wouldn't come together one way or another. Right?
Correct.
So as far as hydraulics, for people that don't know, I know you did something, and we were talking about it earlier off camera. Was that your idea, putting the pumps?
Yeah, pretty much. I vision crosses. You know, if you see there's 2 crosses. I got, which they're pretty much gravity fed.
Okay.
They're actually they're tanks.
Yeah. So those crosses, yeah.
They're tanks.
Yeah.
And one is my mom's and one is my grandma.
Oh, there you go.
So and I went that route. So it has 4 pumps. If people don't really see it, there's 2 other pumps underneath.
Because when I saw it, I was like, man, he only has 2 pumps. And I remember from the videos that I seen the pumps underneath, and I'm like, oh shit, he does have them underneath, you know. And I think that's something creative. Another thing, you know, just another one of the little on the list that you have of all the things that you've put together in this, whether it be from the smallest you know, detail to, you know, things like that, you know.
Yeah.
You think there's anything left to do in this car that you want to do still?
No, just maybe a couple little things. I got a couple murals coming, but
how much longer you think you're gonna compete with this car?
I'll keep on showing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Show it.
I can't believe that you're at that in that elite group, you know, where it's like, you know, cars of this caliber. Like you know, you're and you know what I mean, and you're just a regular guy, like, you know what I mean, like just love of low riding, and you know what I mean, like just, you know, you're a family man, but you're in that group, you know. Yeah. That's crazy, bro.
You know, I have a lot of respect to all those car builders. I talk to a lot of those guys. You know, I communicate with them online, or I see them, I say what's up.
Right.
We have something in common. So
you admire some of them.
Yeah, actually, yeah. You know, a lot of those cars are built very well, very good. You know, and you learn from them as well.
Right.
Because you see what they do, and you say like, well, what can I do different? You know, and that's pretty much. So
to add to that is that, you know, you guys are stand out from other car builders in the sense that, you know, you imagine things, you create things that, you know, have not been seen before, you know. Like, who knows what some of these guys are up to right now as we speak, you know. Like, they're just thinking like, man, I need to do this, I'm gonna do this, you know. And it's fun, you know. It's, to me, like, how I see it, it's crazy. Like, what will they think of next type of thing, you know? There's so much room out there that people can make things, you know. It's like I have this thing where I know low riding, and it's one thing that it's like, you can't control it, you can't box it in, you cannot, you know, just say, you know, put it in one category and that's it. Like, you know, just the fact that, you know, you have an engine that, you know what I mean, it's an engine that is meant for, you know what I mean, for what it's, you know, what it was built for. Just the lights on the car, the system, the hydraulics, you know, so it's like this. I feel like if you know, it stands out. Yeah, it stands out. Imagine seeing these other cars that come out too. They stand out a lot. Definitely. What does it mean for you to be from a club like Majestics? Well, you know, I was pretty much raised with them, you know. A lot of those members are friends that I knew a long time ago before, you know. A lot of those guys, I grew up with them, and being a Majestics is, you know, right. I admire, because I've always, you know, you got to remember, Majestics San Diego, it's been around for ages, you know, 35 years, and one of the oldest car clubs in here in San Diego. Right. Besides Click and everybody else, they've been around for a while, but there's not many car clubs. Everything you see out here nowadays are new car clubs that are coming out, you know, and it's probably because we put that example out there, you know, a standard, exactly. Look, you know what I'm saying, and we got more involved with the community. Is there any advice that you would give somebody that's putting their car together, a youngster, or somebody that's being serious? I think if you're putting a car together, I think take your time on it. Do it right. You know, don't just slap it on, because, you know, you gotta vision it. Oh yeah. You gotta put a vision. You gotta know where you're headed, you know? Your destination, right? I mean, yeah, you gotta put a vision to it, and you gotta put it right.
Some people put their cars backwards, you know,
Right.
do things in the wrong way, and they have to retake it apart to put it back together, you know.
Do you think that it's something where also is do it your way? Whatever you want to add to it,
Yeah.
it's your style. You know, don't go after anybody else's
Yeah.
ideas. I mean, yeah, take ideas from them, take advice, but at the end of the day, it's your.
You know, I've had comments, compliments. I've had bad comments, you know, where people say, well, your car's too much. You know, people, yeah, I hear it. But at the end of the day, it's not their car.
Right.
It's not their build. You know what I'm saying? I might like this car. They might not like it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, there's a lot of people out there
Yeah.
that says, man, this guy's rolling on a fucking $1 million car. Driving, you know what I'm saying? Like, who does all this?
Yeah, that's true.
Who chromes all this? Who engraves everything?
And gets in the car and takes off.
Yeah, and look at that. Look at all those murals. Look at all that stuff. I'm saying, it's you know, it's just people have different tastes,
Yeah, absolutely.
and I have mad respect for everybody. Everybody, you know what? Don't have the same taste I do. Well, you know what?
That's true.
I don't bash on anybody's car.
It's like you know what I notice at our shows is sometimes the guys that have, you know, the trucks, they walk over to the guys with the lowriders, and the guys with the lowriders walk over to the guys with the trucks and admire the you know what I mean? And little do they know that they have so much in common, you know, as far as tastes or admiration for each other, right? Like
Yeah.
you
know, it goes both ways, because you know what, you got to remember the old riding used to had the old type of interiors, you know, the plush interiors, the biscuit
biscuit tub,
interiors, biscuit tub, you know, and all that diamond, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you got to remember that low riding part of it kind of went more towards a little bit of the hot rodders, you know, their vision, how they put the things together, you know, and it transitioned just a little bit to the hot rodders, because you can see it, how they mold things, how they do things, fabricate things differently, you know what I'm saying? All that. So I'm saying a lot of that transitioned a little bit to the hot rodders. So you see a lot now. You see these hot rodders looking at low riders different, because when I went and took it to the last show, to the Good Guy show, we had guys in the hot rodders saying like, how do you drive that car? You drive that car with you know what I'm saying, rotors chromed out and engraved? Well, you know, it's what I'm saying, they know, you drive that with an engraved exhaust? You know, so it's like you everybody's like tripping out, because then, you know, I take off on it and they're like,
see, and me personally, I think I would walk away from that thinking that's dope, you know, that they see that what we do, you know, like our culture is
exactly,
our
it's
part of that.
It's totally different, you know what I'm saying, to theirs. But you know, we still have that respect, because they have a lot
when
of
you're
builds.
a car guy, you're able to appreciate.
And you know what, it is hard, I'm telling you, man, it's very hard to put a car together when it's coming out of your pocket, designing things, figuring out how would it function, how would it work, how would it look better, you know.
Just, you know, like constantly thinking of what else can you change, what can you do to make your car a little different. Do people recognize you on the street, like when you're without the car?
Oh yeah.
Like, do they say, hey, you're the owner of Final Judgement?
Well, yeah, but you gotta remember, I was raised here in San Diego, so I've had history before. So, but you know, I've heard from young people saying that, oh man, this guy changed his life around. Made his it made his whole.
Is that another thing that that you could say, like low riding saved your life?
Well, I can't say that. I could say that a little bit, but I think I had to be very strong-minded, because many things. Because you know what, building a car got my mind occupied, got my mind busy, my hands busy, instead of being out in the streets.
Right.
You know,
having kids.
You know, my daughter, my wife, you know, all my kids. My wife has, you know, her 3 kids, and I have my own 3 kids, which, you know, it's like a little Brady Bunch.
Right.
So, you know, but we have it good. Can't complain.
What is it like growing up right here in San Diego? For people that don't know.
Very good. Nice, sunny.
It was.
Yeah. I'm saying, yeah, a young age, like I said, young age was bad. I can't say bad because I can't regret my past, because if it would have been my past, it would have been my history.
Yeah.
If it would have been
it builds your character.
Yeah, it would have been my history. So who I am. So I'm blessed for all that, you know. And I got my homies from my neighborhood, you know, and all that. We still kicking here and there, and you know, I'm still from my neighborhood, but I don't bang it. I don't, you know. Yeah. I still got a lot into it, you know.
Yeah, I think that's something that a lot of people could understand and relate to. Is that because it's like this, like if you didn't grow up in it and you didn't get that you know, that love, you know, that you needed at that moment, that's what it was, you know. And if you didn't, you wouldn't understand. You don't know what it's like to be, you know, an adult and still have friends that you shared a lot of good and bad experiences, lost homies, and you know what I mean, like when you guys were down and out, when you guys were doing good, like you can't put a, you know, like you can't say I just walk away from that entirely. Like no way.
No.
Nobody can.
No, the only thing is, you know, it's very you know, just imagining, you know, just being out there in the street, keep on doing what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying, being out there at a young age. Imagine me being old and doing the same thing.
Oh no. I think these things are on acabalas.
Yeah.
You gonna turn there?
Yeah.
They'll follow you.
Right, let's just hang out at the police station.
I know, right? Well, I appreciate it, Huero. I appreciate you letting me sit in your car.
No, you know what? You know what? Anytime in San Diego you come, you can sit in my car any day, man.
Right,
you roll with me.
That's right.
Doesn't matter, but we can put music on this.
Oh, yeah. what's your playlist look like?
Oh, old school.
Old school, all right.
Old school.
Hip hop,
old school, old school and fun.
That's right.
I got a little bit of everything.
Yeah. It sets the mood, huh?
Yeah.
When you jump in the car, you gotta have the right songs.
Yeah. I got everything.
That's right. All right, so there you have it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Huero, once again, thank you for letting us ride in your beauty right here. Anybody you want to shout out?
Well, shout out to you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me in your episode.
Show. Yeah, all right, thank you.
Your show, and appreciate everybody that's, you know, that's seen this.
Yeah, that's right. So there you have it. Make sure you guys tune in. This season is packed full of beautiful cars, good interviews, and stay tuned for next week's episode, where we're going to feature another badass car. Until then, you already know, love for the streets, the ride along.
This car I've had since 1998.
Oh, shit.
My parents bought me this car for high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was one of the reasons I never sold this car.
And you probably never will.
Well, no. From now it should go to my son, you know.
Yeah.